Mele Kalikimaka is this thing to say on a nice Hawaiian Christmas day. Sorry about her there. Need some of that shea moisture. Oh man, that one, I don't know if it's organic, but wow, that stuff it's great stuff, I'll tell you. So, all my brothers in Shaka land, Hawaii, Tonga, Bulangis, I love you all. If these videos find you, maybe, somehow, this is to you, Shaka, because I lived in Kaneohe and Kailua. My girlfriend was Dana, and we lived there for 6 years, and wow, that life was a dream. See, it's a funny thing. Oh, you have little faith? Well, I had a little dream that I got in high school. I was kind of a rebel boy. So I was going to run away and go to Hawaii. Well, me and a couple buddies, I think my buddy's name was Todd. Lynn was with us. I think Jackie was there too. We were like a group of 4. We had our plans. We were going to take off, somehow catch a plane, go to Hawaii, and live there and like grow organic food and just like hippie style, live it up. Just like take in the sun, loving it, right? And I mean, I was drawing pictures on my peachy. We used to use those back in those days. Some of you younger people, sorry, I'm showing a little of my gray hairs, but yeah, in school we used to actually have like peaches with our actual homework in them. Maybe the reason they stopped doing that, I don't know. Anyway, so we graduated in high school, and we kind of all laughed. You know, we partied at the whatever graduation, and we were like, dude, that was a fun pipe dream. But we kind of left it in our hearts, and I had like prayed these things like, whew, man. So then I ended up going to Willamette, you know, the sister school of Stanford. And once I was in my sophomore year and arguing about what I could study at $10,000 a year, and I'm running out of money, working full time and getting yelled at by the dean, like, you can't work that much and study that much. Like, well, this basic math crap I don't need to study anyway, but whatever, right? So I was getting really sick of the politics of all the universities, and also I didn't see that many brains I was getting out of studying Shakespeare, that I was doing better on my own, like just reading the plays. But the prof wanted to get into all these theories about whatever. Of course, when his last name is Lord, you gotta wonder when he actually acts like he is the Lord of Lords. So anyway, as I was joining Sigma Chi fraternity and learning all these great things and thinking how to quit, get off this sailing ship before it crashes, and I'm deeply, deeply in debt with 40 grand in loans and those grant things that were so lovely from Reagan back then. But anyway, so I actually kind of fell in love with an older woman in the fraternity, and she had quit school already, so we were kind of in the same boat there. And she was from Hawaii and went to Kamehameha school, where you gotta actually have like Hawaiian blood to go there that was related to King Kamehameha or something. It was really cool, and I'll tell you what, I don't regret those years, because aloha, brah, I loved that life. But I came to California because my mom had breast cancer, and well, it wasn't working out for us too. It was like a kind of a, you know, things cross sometimes, and it just didn't work out. But I love Hawaii and Tonga. I learned Tongan people really well, like Kaufusi and Vili and all the Vulangis, like Isaiah that I worked for. When I found out that he was related to the king of Tonga, when I was working there, and my boss, that was when I had that great job at Le Bourge Suisse for that, wow, that chef Fred Mueller, wow. Haven't seen one like that since. I gotta wash dishes for him. And let me tell you what, first time I said, hey, let me help you out and mop the floor. And he was like, what are you talking about? That's the last thing I do before I get out of here at midnight. And when I'm done with this floor, you could eat off it. I was like, what the heck? I gotta learn more about these Swiss. They're really perfectionists. And then, of course, later I heard once that, well, in Switzerland, there's no trash anywhere. It's always clean. People don't do that kind of stuff there. So maybe that's like kind of like the kingdom, you know? Anyway. So, that's how I was working as a supervisor with these guys that I couldn't speak much English with, but they were Tongan, and man, they could work, and man, we did all the landscaping on the freeways, and it was fun. But we used to eat coconuts and Tonga food and that corned beef from New Zealand. What the heck? That stuff with the cow in the can? I've never had anything like it. It's like the best meat in a can I think I've ever had. I was just sitting there. I was like, what the heck is this? I've never tasted canned stuff. Oh yeah, they were like, yeah, we eat that in Tonga all the time, man. That's the best corned beef. I was like, stuff I taste got that vinegar and all that crap in it. I can hardly taste the meat. So during those years in Hawaii, I learned a lot of things. I learned drywall, worked that a couple of years, worked landscaping with Isaiah, and his nephew came to me when I was supervising and trying to communicate with some of these guys with not very much English. But I loved them with my heart. I tell you, because we worked together hard. I mean, we had so much fun. It was like brothers, you know? And sometimes they would like cook a pig under the ground. Wow, I'm telling you, it was amazing. So anyway, one day we were sitting there and smoking a joint, me and Kaufusi, this one guy, and it was during lunch. It wasn't a big deal, you know. Bossy wasn't like strict like that. He knew we worked hard. We were just smoking a quickie, get our heads out of the, you know, because when you're working subconsciously, you're cutting grass. You don't need too many brains, you know. So it wasn't like we were getting all drunk or anything. So we were just smoking a joint a bit, and he sat back and we were eating lunch, and he goes, pretty soon we're going to be with the king. And I was like, wait a minute, you're on the same page as me? Like, wait a minute, we never talked about God or anything, you know what I mean? So anyway, one day we were working, and the nephew of Isaiah came over and he goes, hey man, when are you going to go to Tonga, man? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you never been there, huh? I'm like, no. And he goes, well, hey, man, you got to go. I was like, they were rugby players, so they're funny like that. Like, dude, come on, let's do this, you know? So I kind of laughed. I was like, yeah, that'd be fun someday. And he goes, dude, I'm serious, man. You go over there. Isaiah's related to the king. All you tell him, hey, man, I work for Isaiah. They'll set you up in the palace, dude. You get princes and everything. I'm like, really? It's like, yeah, man, just go and just take a trip, man. I was like, right on, bro. That's cool, you know. Never made it over, but wow, just the thought. It was pretty cool, you know. But, you know, if you think about it, it might be the key to just, like, right now, and focusing on, we've been working for a king, and he's coming. Like, you can go to Tonga now, you know. The king, he's all good with you because you've been working for him anyway, so you're following that golden rule. Well, it's all good from here, bro. Don't worry, man. It's all good. Karma? It's all good, man. Those people in India, they're going to bow to that king. What do you think? They're going to be like, dude, that's not why I didn't eat Grandpa that cow. No, dude, that's what they've been thinking about all this time, man. Wake up, get out of the fog, man. See, sometimes you pray things and you just don't know what's going to happen, right? So, a long time ago, I decided I was going to write a book because I've been seeing so many of these things and just like, dude, what is up? And praying like, God, please help me. I can't believe this crap. So, I wrote this book, and it was based on Matthew, about how on that day, many are going to think they're saved, but they don't realize that grieve not the Holy Spirit in whom you have been sealed until redemption. You forgot that part. You're not redeemed until the end, and Many will come that day and go, oh yeah, Lord, I'm saved, I trusted in you. And he'll say, back off, I don't know you. I'm the king, and you never worship the king, so you got some prince thingy going over here. And that's bringing that Purple Rain movie, but for you, but it's not exactly the prince one with the nice boobs to look at. No, well, sorry, I thought they were nice. I'm just trying to be honest as I can, you know what I mean? Nothing to hide, because I don't like to say, oh, I didn't look at them. Well, that's another thing. That one Calvary Chapel pastor that didn't allow smoking in the parking lot, he told me a good one. He goes, oh, Mike, you look like you're in shape. And I'm like, well, I like to work out, yeah. And he goes, well, I don't go to the beach. And I said, really? Well, he didn't look like a guy that hung out at the beach much. He was like, well, he had some health issues otherwise. But anyway, he was just kind of funny how he said it out of the blue. And I'm like, well, whatever, dude. Like, I don't get that a lot, but whatever. And he's like, well, I don't go to the beach. And I'm like, okay, well, I do. I kind of like it. That's where I usually like to work out and stuff. And he's, well, I don't know if I said that, but it's true now. I don't know if it was true back then. This is quite a while ago. I said, well, I kind of like the beach. And he goes, well, I don't go to the beach, so then I don't lust after all those girls in bikinis. And I thought, that's an interesting thing. Like, what is it, like a porn show for you to go to the beach? Because then I was thinking, well, wait a minute. Like, if you were in Eden and you were Adam, would you not look at Eve like, check her out, dude. I don't want to be evil. So, I don't know. I just trying to understand that, because, like, it almost sounded like he was being self-righteous, like that sign that had said in the parking lot, don't smoke here or anywhere on this property. Kind of like, I wonder if it says too, like, don't drink wine here, especially if you made it, Jesus. That would be like, king thing. Anyway, so it's good to focus sometimes on who is the king and who will come and who all will bow to. And following that golden rule, it's really not that tough. So I don't think it's worth getting all worked up about. But, according to your faith, it will be given you, and you can take a horse to drink water, but you can't make him drink. And if I got living water, well, king, cool.